Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly win friends and influence others? Today, we'll explore 3 unforgettable stories from Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People. These tales will reveal the secrets to understanding human nature, giving genuine appreciation, and practicing empathy. Our first story takes us to a steel mill in the early 1900s. Charles Schwab, a successful steel magnate, faced a significant challenge. One of his mill's shifts was severely underperforming. Instead of reprimanding the workers, Schwab did something unexpected. He picked up a piece of chalk, walked over to the furnace, and wrote a large number 6 on the floor, the number of heats the day shift had completed. When the night shift arrived, they saw the number and asked about it. That's how many heats the day shift produced, they were told. The next morning, the day shift arrived to find a 7 chalked on the floor. Soon, a competition sparked between the shifts. Within weeks, the plant's productivity soared. Schwab hadn't criticized or threatened. He had simply appealed to the workers' pride and desire for recognition. The lesson? People crave recognition and will perform better when they feel valued. Instead of criticism, offer genuine appreciation. A small acknowledgement can inspire others to reach their full potential. Our second story brings us to a modern-day office. A young accountant, despite working tirelessly, felt unappreciated and was on the verge of quitting. His efforts seemed to go unnoticed, and his motivation was at an all-time low. One day, his manager approached him, but instead of criticizing his work or demanding better results, the manager asked about his goals and how the company could help him achieve them. This simple act of empathy completely changed the accountant's perspective. For the first time, he felt his contributions mattered and that someone genuinely cared about his success. The manager's approach unlocked a new level of motivation in the young accountant. His productivity soared, and he became one of the company's most valued employees. The lesson here is clear. People don't always need more orders or criticism. They need someone to listen and offer support. When individuals feel heard and understood, they're more likely to engage and contribute their best work. Our final story takes us into a family home, where a father and his son were locked in a cycle of conflict. The father, a successful businessman, had high expectations for his son, but often expressed disappointment when the boy didn't meet them. Constant criticism had created a strained relationship, pushing his son further away. One evening, after another argument, the father came across an article titled, "Father Forgets." It was written from the perspective of a remorseful father, reflecting on how his harsh words had affected his child. This story deeply moved the businessman. The next morning, instead of criticizing his son again, he simply sat down with him and asked about his day. For the first time in months, they had a genuine conversation. This moment of connection, born from empathy and understanding, began to mend their relationship. The father learned that by letting go of constant judgment and instead focusing on understanding his son's perspective, he could build a deeper bond. The takeaway? Criticism often drives people apart, while empathy draws them closer. Approach disagreements with curiosity and a willingness to listen. This approach builds trust and strengthens bonds in all relationships, whether professional or personal. These 3 stories from How to Win Friends and Influence People highlight the transformative power of understanding human nature, offering genuine appreciation, and practicing empathy. Whether it's recognizing effort, listening to someone's ambitions, or approaching a loved one with patience instead of criticism, these actions are fundamental to building meaningful connections. Remember, people are driven not by orders or demands, but by the desire to feel valued and understood. Embrace this understanding, and you'll navigate relationships with far greater success. So, how will you apply these insights to transform your relationships and influence others positively?